Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today we are looking at the Corvette transport for Starship Troopers. The Corvette transport is a class of Starship for transport usage for the Starship Troopers line, and this all comes to us from the Starship Troopers wiki to start off with. All right, the Corvette transport is a large ship used by fleet during the First Bug War and the Second Bug War. The Corvette transports are generally named after famous generals and battles. Each ship is roughly about 550 meters in length. During the early offensive against the Arachnids, the corvettes were the most common capital ship used by the United Citizens Federation to deploy dropships, attack fighters, and materials to planets across the galaxy. The class carries 18 dropships and specialized variants also carry multiple tag fighters in the upper flight deck. By the Second Battle of Klendathu, an Aretha class was introduced to fleet. However, Corvette transports still remain the most numerous starships in the fleet, staying in service well until the Second Bug War. Now, in the novel for Starship Troopers, the Corvette transport is a class of starship deployed during the war by the Terran Federation Space Navy. Notable ships of this class included the Roger Young. The ships of this class were fast but very small, capable of only carrying one platoon of mobile infantry, which is the smallest field deployed in the MI command by an officer. Okay, so slight difference out of all of that. Getting a couple pictures that we do have of the Roger Young here, with many of its brothers flying behind it, as we have Klendathu kind of shooting the plasma charges up towards it. And then, let's see, what else do we have? We have another nice picture here. All right, with that, let's get into having our. Oh, there's a side view. All right, I thought there was a third one. Let's get into doing our D6 uh, stats for this and go from there. All right, so looking at the Corvette here, it's a transport capital scale, has a length of about 550 meters. We're looking at our crew skill being capital ship piloting. We do have a crew of 218 with 24 gunners. A skeleton crew of 22 can operate this ship with a difficulty of plus 10. We do have enough passenger space on board for 1,500 troops. Cargo capacity is meant for about 11,000 metric tons. We're looking at consumables for 1 year. A hyperdrive, if we're, would be a times 3.4, a backup of 34. It's going to have a nav computer. Maneuverability would be about a 2D. Our space speed is 4, so she is fairly slow in comparison. Our hull is 5D, fairly resilient, although not as resilient as some of the other ships that we see out of the Star Wars universe. Sensor wise, we have passive scanning going out to 3 kilometers with a 1D bonus, and active scan going out to 6 kilometers at a 1D plus 2 bonus, and active search out to 9 kilometers at a 2D plus 1 bonus, and a focus out to 300 meters with a 3D bonus. Looking at the weapon systems that we have listed here, we have two double uh, X energy cannons. Let's see, this is port and starboard turret. Fire control is a 2D, damage is 60 plus 2. We have two Type X energy cannons, a single, so we have a crew of 2 to operate each one. I think it's crew of 2 for each one, otherwise it's crew of 1 for each one. The fire control is going to be 2D, damage is 5D plus 2. Now, we have two Type 9 energy cannons, crew of 2, fire control is 2D, and damage is 5D plus 1. One triple Type 9 energy cannon. Fire control is 2D, and damage is 6D. This is our dorsal slash aft partial turret. We do have 5 Type 8 energy cannons, 5 partial turrets, fire control is 2D, and damage is 4D plus 2. Now, out of our complement, it's being listed as carrying about 18 Viking landing boats, 9 Skyhook retrieval boats, 9 slingshot dropships, and 36 F-76 Thunderbolt TAC fighters. All right, the most common Starship class in the Federation Corvette transports are kept in reserve and used whenever units of the mobile infantry are needed in mass. While troop transports are capable of performing most fleet tasks, including planetary embargo and cargo hauling, the cost of a Corvette transport during its active cycle makes it more efficient to use more dedicated craft. Notable Corvette transports includes the Terran Federation Corvette Transport, the TFCT, Roger Young, the TFCT George Patton, and the TFCT Alexander. Now, this comes to us from the Starship Troopers Wiki, which we've already kind of read, the Starship Troopers role playing game sourcebook, and the Demon Apostle. So, with that, uh, as we're starting to wind down, we have one more video to go on our Starship Troopers. It's you know it's a interesting series, brings in a lot of nice things that can be added in, whether we're talking about our Star Trek or Star Wars, leaving it just alone as Starship Troopers or any other franchise, uh, and going from there. With that being said, thank you so very much for joining me today. It's always wonderful having you here. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you in the next video.